Hi, I'm Jake, and today I'm going to be taking you along with me on my trip to Bali. Now, this wasn't an all-encompassing trip where I would see all of Bali, but I was there specifically because my sister was having her wedding there. I spent a total of 11 days in Bali, but for the sake of this video, I'm only going to focus on a couple of those days. Because we had friends and family from around the world come to the wedding, there was moments where I just wanted to hang out with them and, catch up with people I haven't seen in a while. When we first got to Ubud, we made our way to Heron Villa, which is where most of the family was staying. It was basically a cool courtyard that was surrounded by 3 buildings, which each had 2 bedrooms with their own bathrooms. The courtyard was home to a bunch of awesome statues and a super refreshing pool. Every morning, staff would come in and make us breakfast. It was a super neat place, and it's not far from the main street of Ubud. If you're traveling with a lot of people, I highly recommend you check this place out. It's pretty cool. That afternoon, we stopped at Roti Bohemia, which was an awesome bakery right outside our villa. After that, we ordered a ride through Grab and had it drive us to Ubud, where we got some coffee and walked around town for a couple hours. After walking around town for a while, we met up at a place called Herb Library with all the wedding guests to eat dinner.
So today is my second full day in Bali, and it is 7 in the morning, and it's time to find some coffee as always. Well, there's a place called Roti Bohemia located right next to where I'm staying, and they've got fantastic bread. This one's banana caramel sweetbread. Excellent.
When I got back to the villa, a few of us jumped in the pool and we swam around for a little while. We didn't really have the opportunity to do much this day because this was the day of the wedding, so at 2:30 a shuttle van came and picked us all up and drove us up to Janata Resort and Spa, and then the ceremony was held there, which was at a beautiful spot. It had just a great overlook of the landscape around it, and yeah, we also ate dinner there, and that was the night. The next day of the trip was what I considered my first real full day of going out and doing stuff. We started it by stopping at Roti Bohemia. After that, we got some coffee, and we made our way to the Kampuhan Ridge Walk, which is a nature trail that makes its way up a ridge and past stunning scenic views of lush rolling hills, rice fields, and rivers. The trail is a little over 2 miles long one way and takes a couple hours to explore. Once up top, you'll find multiple restaurants and shops scattered about. One cool spot we stopped at was Karsa Cafe, which had seating that overlooked a pond filled with lily pads. After grabbing a bite to eat, we walked around the pond and checked out the fish. While up top, I was looking at Google Maps and I noticed that Janata Resort wasn't far from us, which is where the wedding was, so we walked up there and said hello to my sister, Scott, and a couple of our friends, and hung out for a minute. After chilling for a bit, we made our way back down the ridge to Ubud. Once we got back to the bottom of the trail, we hung out at the river for a while, then we checked out Gunung Lebah Temple. After that, we walked through town to the Monkey Forest. The Monkey Forest is a nature reserve and Hindu temple complex that is home to over 1,200 free-roaming long-tailed macaws. The sanctuary is surrounded by a lush forest with moss-covered statues and a peaceful environment. But with that said, be respectful towards the monkeys because they are known for stealing and can be aggressive.
What's up there, dude? How's my monkey friend? Oh, wow, you do not look happy. Okay. I like my hat. You're okay.
He wanted that. Oh, you're lucky.
That was awesome. Hi, buddy. There's nothing in there for you. Oh, no, no. Those ones, not those ones.
Just one.
He wants your glasses. I kind of know this.
When we were done hanging out with the monkeys at the monkey forest, we headed back to the villa and met up with everyone. From there, we walked down the street to the Ubud Kakakan fire dance show by Bali Performance. Now, this fire dance isn't as famous as the Uluwatu Temple fire dance, but we got in for free because of the place we were staying. They had tickets for us. A Kikak fire dance is a Balinese Hindu dance ritual that is known as the Ramayana monkey chant, and it is an adaptation of the Sanskrit poem, the Ramayana, which depicts the battle between good and evil. At sunset, torches are lit in the center of the room, and dozens of dancers circle around it. Instead of using an orchestra, the performers chant in synchronization as the story of Hanuman, the monkey-like Vanara, and Ravana, the demon king, unfolds. The next day was another event-filled day. My sister and Sky had booked 2 shuttle vans to take everyone on a tour to the most photographed spots on the island. After a 2-hour drive, our first stop was at Lempuyang Temple, which is known for the gates of heaven and its spectacular views of Mount Agung. It is said to be one of Bali's oldest temples. When we first got there, we jumped on a scooter and they took us up to the top of the hill.
Awesome, thank you.
Up top, we had a lot of photos taken of us standing within the gates of heaven. We spent a half an hour or so taking photos at several different locations around the vicinity. After that, we jumped in the shuttle van again and made a 20-minute drive to Gangga. Gangga is a former royal palace that was built in 1946. It is home to tiered pools, Hindu statues, and beautiful gardens. You also find stepping stones that enable you to walk across koi-filled ponds.
So right now I'm just exploring Gangga. This is one of the places I wanted to see the most, and it is living up to the hype.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. Wow.
When we were finished at the water palace, we made a quick stop at a rope swing that sat on a hilltop that overlooked the lush Balinese landscape. We each took our turn on the rope swing, and then lunch was provided to us afterwards. Next, we made a coffee stop at a place where we learned about kopi luwak, which is coffee beans that have been eaten and digested by Asian palm civets. After learning about the process, we were given a flight of different coffee and teas, and we tried them all out. When we were done drinking coffee, we were supposed to go to a waterfall, but it was raining really bad, so the roads apparently flooded and we canceled that part of the trip. So with that, we went to the next location, which just so happens to be one of Bali's most famous locations, the Tegallalang rice terraces. The Tegallalang rice terraces is one of the most iconic places in Bali, and is considered to be a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is known for cascading rice fields that help with water efficiency, and it displays the historic Balinese farming technique. There's a hiking trail that weaves through it that gives you a breathtaking view of the area. After our big excursion, we spent the next few days chilling. The first morning we went to the Mason Elephant Park. A shuttle picked us up near our villa and drove us out there. We ate breakfast, then we bathed and fed the elephants. The next morning, we visited Sanur Beach, where we swam and spent time with our friends from Norway. The day after that, all of the wedding guests flew out of Bali, except for me and my immediate family. My family and I left the villa in Ubud and checked into a place in Canggu, where we spent the evening hanging out on Batu Balang Beach, watching the surfers as the sun set. After chilling for a few days, we had what I consider my final event-filled day in Bali. When we woke up, we ate at a bakery next to our place. After that, we ordered a grab and took an hour-long car ride south to Garuda Wisnu Kencana Cultural Park. When we first got there, we were shuttled from the main parking lot to the ticket booth. As you walk around the park, you will find cool fountains and photo spots, along with individual statues of both Garuda and Wisnu. As we made our way through the park, we came across Lotus Pond, which is a large open courtyard surrounded by lush limestone walls. We weaved our way through the epic cliffs and continued to make our way through the park. After that, we finally arrived at the giant iconic statue of Wisnu riding Garuda. GWK is almost 400 feet tall, which is near 100 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty, and is one of the tallest statues in the world. When we were finished walking around, we ordered another ride and took a 20-minute drive to Uluwatu Temple. Bali's most famous fire dance is located here, but because we already saw a fire dance a few days earlier, we were here for a different purpose, which was to watch the sunset over the Indian Ocean.
I wonder if they just have a big stash, like a board of glasses and hats and money. Watch out, watch out. Oh, help me. Thank you.
After the sunset, we made our way back to Canggu and I went to bed around 10. Then at about midnight, I woke up super sick. I got the infamous Bali belly, and from about midnight to noon the next day, it was just really intense. It was an intense 12 hours, and then from there it was just 2 to 3 days of trying to get my appetite back and whatnot. I tried my best not to get Bali belly. I use a filter water bottle all the time with everything, but it's pretty inevitable, and it's pretty common that people get it. In fact, multiple wedding guests got it. And the difference between them and me, though, is they had to get on a plane and deal with it, whereas I at least got to be in a room and dealing with it. And, when I got on a plane, I just didn't have an appetite. So, it happens. Like always, there's things I wanted to do but didn't have time to see. Like, I really wanted to see Tegallalang, which is this temple that's an island when the water's at high tide, but then when it's at low tide, there's a sandbar that enables you to walk over to the temple. And I don't know, I just thought that would have been really cool to see. Then there's also the Gill Islands, which has that circle of statues that's underwater that you can snorkel, and I've heard there are turtles and stuff up there, so that would have been cool. And then there's also the scenic Nusa Islands, kind of to the south, which would have been cool to go see, but you can't do everything. That's just how it is. So that was it for my trip to Bali. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.